You guys have got to start buying a pre-purchase inspection before you buy a car. Please. Dealers are out here robbing people blind. Let's take a look at this Volkswagen. So this is a 2008 Volkswagen Jetta. It was purchased in Oklahoma at a dealer in Oklahoma. And I'm obviously not going to mention the name of the dealership because I don't want to be spending the next 8 months in and out of court. I have a shop to run. The customer got blindsided. I mean, they have been ripped off. When you guys take a look at this with us today, you're going to be shocked as much as we are. On the lot for sale, this is a one owner, no accident, perfect condition. Ready to go, ready to hit the highway. So that's the way they bought it. Now obviously they didn't get a pre-purchase inspection, and I don't think that the owners are very mechanically minded, which not everybody is. That's not the problem. The problem is they were lied to. Blatantly, in their face, eye to eye, lied to. So let's go ahead and take a look around this thing and show you some of the damage we've seen. So here's the cute and bubbly face of a Volkswagen Jetta. As we look at the bottom down here, does that look like no accident to you guys? From here all the way across is an entire chunk missing out of the bumper. Gone. That doesn't happen by nothing happening. Something was impacted here at the bottom lip, and there's so much more damage, guys. Just wait till you see. Let's go ahead and move to the side. Looks like the Volkswagen emblem is missing there. And as we scroll up to the corner of the fender, we do see it is a Wolfsburg edition, which is a little bit more elegant version of a Jetta, and it has a better appointed interior. As you go down the side here, it does look decent. If you did a quick glance, you really wouldn't catch anything. No dents or scrapes or anything serious going on. Back end looks fine. It's a Jetta 2.0T. And this side looks fine as well. You can see it's a little dirty from they've been driving it who knows where. Again, at first glance, you really don't see anything. It doesn't seem like it's been damaged or anything. It's dirty, but it doesn't look all broken. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. So here's our 2.0T. Everything looks to be in decent shape, nice and clean. It was probably washed and cleaned really well before sale. It came in here with codes for low boost pressure. It was running really rough, barely running in fact. And it was really, really upsetting the customer. They're like, we just bought this car. Why is it running so bad? I'm not sure why it wasn't brought up with the dealer or what. I don't know the exact specifics of that. But let me show you some parts and pieces of what we replaced and what we found. So this thing sitting beside me looks like a radiator, but it is not a radiator. It is an intercooler. Danielson actually diagnosed this, and he hooked up the smoke machine to see if there's any leaks, or maybe a boot came off, or one of the intercooler connections are loose or something like that. And he saw smoke literally rolling out of the side of the intercooler. Let me show you guys. Does that look like no accident, perfect history, guys, to you? No wonder it won't build boost. There's a hole almost the thickness of my pinky punched right through the side of the intercooler. While Danielson had this apart, he said, "Wizard, look at this fan." Whatever accident or whatever they got into literally broke chunks of the blades off. We tried to test them, and it actually threw a piece of plastic up across into the ceiling of the shop. These things are dangerous. So what can happen with these is the blades will break free and punch right through the radiator and leave these people stranded. Or it could hurt someone. It could fly off. So whatever happened with the impact on the underneath that we saw just a minute ago, it cracked the intercooler, and it flexed these fan blades so hard it popped and cracked them and broke them to the point where now they're slinging pieces of plastic off.
Okay, Car Wizard. So I bet anything that the dealer showed them a Carfax that showed no accidents.
Very likely because it wasn't reported. Whoever had this little accident said, I don't have insurance, screw it. So, but wait, there's always more. So before we dive in underneath the car, we'll let Mrs. Wizard check out the interior and see what kind of other things we find there.
Okay, ladies and gents, let's start up here at the dash. And this does have 64,000 miles on it, so it really doesn't have a whole lot of miles on the car. And for the most part, the interior is going to look and present very well. We look up there at the dash, it's looking good. No cracks, no marks, no, just lots of hard plastic. It's got a fun little spot you can, keep your phone in, I guess, or wallet. Simple controls for our HVAC, a few minor scratches here or there, but everything's looking good. Nothing's been scratched off, like a lot of times on our buttons on our radio. Fingernails can, take that off. That's fine. We do see it does have a fun 6-speed transmission, and so that makes the car kind of a desirable, fun thing to drive. We look at our leather seats, which is part of that Wolfsburg edition, and it looks really nice. There's no tears. It's pretty comfortable. It's got a little bit of bolster on the side, but the one thing that I do notice is this. Now, obviously, that is not, well taken care of. And now, mind you, we can take that off, send that off to like Low and Upholstery here in town, and they can easily fix that. But that's a lot of work. When you buy a car, you don't buy, the inside pieces of your door panels exposed. You kind of want those hidden and, looking presentable. As we slide to the back seat is looking absolutely amazing, because I'm almost wondering if they never even used it back there. I don't really see anything at all wrong there. And as we slide it up to our headliner, it's looking good as well. No sagging, no marks. A little bit of something right over there by, looks like maybe somebody with chocolate fingers, pulled that visor down. But otherwise, looking good. Pull back our sunroof, and all we see are water spots that was left over when they drove it up here. And of course, our lovely ceiling to our shop. Another thing I'm noticing is the button here. That has had some damage to it. Mind you, not a huge issue, but it is a little thing that, when you've got a new car, you wish it would always look nice. So I'm not so sure why the light there button was used so much, but that's what it is. As we end up at our steering wheel, got a nice Volkswagen symbol on our steering wheel, and yeah, everything else looks good. Simple, design, layout for being a Volkswagen. Typically what we would expect from this car. Now, other than that little surprise over there on the door panel, that wasn't too much. I hear there's some really crazy stuff happening underneath the car. Let's get this in the air.
So I mentioned a little bit ago about the damage on the front end, but now that this thing's up in the air, we can take an even closer look. And something right around in this area really impacted pretty hard. That's what broke our intercooler and also took out our fans. Luckily it didn't hurt the radiator or the condenser. We're very lucky for that. So as you can see, there's screws still in place. The belly pan was ripped clear off. We don't have the belly pan, it's gone. We told the customer that based on this stuff being broken, they're going to have to get a new bumper, which will have to be color matched to the car. And while they're there, they can get the belly pan, all that screwed in and taken care of. So that needs to go to a body shop. We do not paint cars here. We do repair them though. The engine looks okay. There's really no serious leaks going on, and it runs okay now that we got a new intercooler in it. We have the fans disconnected and removed. We have the new ones on order, and once they arrive, we'll install those. You can start to see all this Oklahoma red dirt, just like the country songs talk about red dirt roads. There's all the red dirt there. So definitely came from Oklahoma. Our brakes are about half gone, but they're still good. CV boots are good. Sway bar link is good. The strut's not blown out. Nothing loose. Brakes are good here. CV boots are good. The steering rack boot is good. Sway bar link is good. Nothing loose there. As we move back here, all we're looking at is the exhaust, and it seems to be hanging awfully low. You can see all this dirt that's built up in mud. You can tell that it probably spent its life on a dirt road. Look at the damage here. It's literally just cracked in half right through there. Lots of impacts. You can see gouges right here. They must have been Dukes of Hazzarding it through ditches or something. I mean, it's just, this thing's been beat up pretty bad. For only 64 or something thousand miles, it's really pretty rough. Look at this, guys. The exhaust is touching this cross member. Watch this. It's just not even tight. Probably from an impact. Here's more of our red dirt. Here's our fuel tank. And we'll check our brakes here. They're about 60% gone. Nothing loose there. The shock is nice and dry. Sway bar link is good. Sway bar link is good. Brakes the same over here. Nothing loose. And the shock is dry. What in the heck?
Car Wizard, there's a big open cavity there.
Well, you can see the metal right here. It's been cut like with a saw or a cutting tool. Someone just hacked the muffler off and threw it away. The mount is still here, but you can see it's been broke. Something collided and damaged it and they just cut it off, or I'm not too sure what happened there, but where is it?
Does it run really loud?
It's a little louder than normal, but it's not horrible. We'll have to tighten up that exhaust clamp for them. This is crazy, guys. Look at the rocks. This thing was beat on, and I mean it was beat on hard. I really feel sorry for these people that bought this car. They really got taken advantage of pretty hard. Let's check out these tires. They're fairly new. They're from 2021. So the tires are good. Let's go ahead and lower this thing on the ground. So this is really bad, guys. You guys just saw how bad this is. This is a one owner, no accident, perfect condition, ready for the highway, summer cruising. BS. All of that is lies. Basically, this is hand me the cash, shut the F up, and get out of my dealership lot. That's what this was. I really feel sorry for this customer. We are going to take care of the intercooler and the fans, because that's definitely safety oriented with the fans, and the intercooler, if it's not fixed, it's not going to run right. But the customer mentioned that's as far as they can go on this trip. They'll have to bring it back another time when funds allow. But I feel really bad for these people. Just like I said at the beginning of the video, you really need to get pre-purchase inspections, because there are these kinds of dealers ready to dump this stuff on you. It used to be that you would find cars like this at certain, maybe a little bit seedier parts of town. You would find some of the cars that are not such great condition, buy here, pay here lots and whatnot. But in the current economic situation we're in, you're finding this on reputable lots. You really have to get a pre-purchase inspection. It's very likely the dealer didn't even look under the car or even care. He got it in from auction. He probably reset the code to make the code go away and said something, it needs a tune-up or something, it runs a little rough. Who knows what he told these people. But they did give me permission to film it, to show you guys what they ran into, how they got taken advantage of. They actually said, can you please do a video, because I want other people to see what kind of mess they can literally step in by not being careful, by not being watchful of the things that they're purchasing. Very likely this was a minor impact or something that was deemed minor, and for some reason it wasn't reported because they felt that it was a minor impact. But we saw the damage that was done. That wasn't minor. The bill that these customers are going to have to pay on this car is not minor either. So whatever they paid for this car, probably exorbitant prices at some buy here, pay here lot. I don't know if it's that or not, but they have to tack this bill on top of that. And they're still not done. So we'll get the new fans in. As soon as they come in, we'll install them. This car will be ready to go. It'll be drivable again. So they can take it home, they can actually use the car, and then they can bring it back later and take care of the other issues, the muffler and some other things that may need some services. But we've gone as far as the customer will allow us to go. So I know you guys might be getting tired of me trying to drill it into you about pre-purchase inspections and dealers ripping people off. And I'm going to keep doing videos like this because that means people are still buying stuff like this. And it's nothing against the customer. Like I said, they're probably not mechanically minded. They really didn't think much about some of this stuff. It's really not their fault. They were lied to. If you guys take my advice and start being more choosy and picky and getting inspections on these types of cars, you will actually pull the rug out from underneath these shady dealers. They won't have a leg to stand on. So really, you need to heed that advice. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're using or going to use to fix this car, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut. We really appreciate it. Make sure to hit the subscribe button because there is another car that's in the shop right now that's going to be a doozy of a video. Thanks for watching.